Welcome to the Armenian Nationality Room at the University of Pittsburgh. This room was dedicated in 1988. It is based upon the library at Hien Monastery, located in northern Armenia. Hien is associated with the Armenian Apostolic Church and is a 1,000-year-old structure. Hien means this one is older than the other one, a reference to another nearby ancient monastery called Hagpat. The room features 22 tons of limestone and slate for the vaulted ceiling, walls, and floor. Hien Monastery is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The neighboring monastic centers of Hien and Hagpat were built over several stages, but among the earliest structures were some designed by the architect Dirtat in the late 10th century. Dirtat also rebuilt the dome of Hagia Sophia in Constantinople during the reign of the Byzantine Emperor Basil II, after an earthquake destroyed much of it. The architect's name appears in this room. Hien was renowned as a center of learning and book illumination. Identification with this stretches back to the beginnings of the nation's conversion to Christianity, attributed to Saint Gregor, or Saint Gregory, the Illuminator, in the 3rd and early 4th centuries. Adoption of Christianity as a state religion occurred in 301 AD. Saint Gregory thus became the first head of the Armenian Apostolic Church. Legend has it that apostles Thaddeus and Bartholomew evangelized there, but the earliest nationwide identification with Christianity occurred in the 4th century. Armenia's conversion made it the first nation in the world to do so. In the display case is one example of an illuminated manuscript, a detail that this room shares with the Irish Nationality Room. Both rooms are based upon monastic centers for learning. The architecture mixes some native Armenian elements with Byzantine-era decorative details. The history of the Byzantine Empire includes territorial parts of Armenia incorporated into the empire, but even though the entirety of the Armenian region was not part of the empire and was divided between two early rivals, the Byzantines and the Sassanids, many Armenians through the centuries contributed to the culture and to the rule of the Byzantine Empire. Numerous Armenians became Byzantine emperors. This room is based upon the Matanadaran, or library, of Hien. One important detail of any illuminated manuscript kept in the Matanadaran is its text. On the far wall is the Armenian alphabet, invented in 404 AD by Saint Mesrab Mashdots. The Mashdots Matanadaran Institute in Yerevan, the Armenian capital, today contains many examples of ancient Armenian illuminated manuscripts. Numbering in the thousands, the folios and fragments span centuries, going as far back as a 9th century gospel. Produced on calfskin parchment and illustrated with scenes to complement the religious texts, the manuscripts tell of Christ's life and lessons. Not all Armenian illuminated manuscripts serve this single purpose. Manuscripts of many academic subjects survive. But with wars and invasion, many of these books have been lost or fragmented. The Armenian Room connects the deep Christian past with the early 20th century exile and diaspora of Armenians around the world. That enabled Armenian Pittsburghers many years later to pick up the thread of an ancient history and to show it renewed in the Cathedral of Learning. The Cornerstone reads Hien, 10th through 12th centuries, Pittsburgh, 20th century. Mortar that holds the cornerstone upon the wall has the imprints of 5 survivors from the 1915 exile and diaspora, and the handprint of a 6-month-old Armenian girl in Pittsburgh is also there in the mortar. Continuity of culture and history is being commemorated. The Our Heritage Wall contains the names of prominent Armenians, some of whom have been mentioned. One name near the end is Aram Khachaturian, the prominent 20th century composer of orchestral, ballet, and film music. One of his best-known compositions is the Saber Dance. One composer to examine, who is not referenced in this room, is an Armenian-American named Alan Hovhannes. His music includes such works as the Exile Symphony, Prayer of St. Gregory, and Symphony Etchmiadzin. Etchmiadzin is the mother church and cathedral of the Armenian Apostolic Church and dates in some iteration to the 4th century. There is much in this room that reminds us of crossroads in history, faith, community continuity, language, and books. In that way, the Armenian Room speaks to us about universals. Please visit the room when you can to learn more about particular details.